I yield 5 minutes to my colleague, the gentlelady from New York, Ms. Gillibrand, a member of the Armed Services Committee.
Gentlelady from New York is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chairman Skelton. It's been an honor to serve on your committee. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to voice my strong support for this resolution. Last November, the voters in upstate New York spoke loudly and clearly in demanding a change in direction in Iraq, and I will cast my vote in favor of this resolution to fulfill my duty to represent their will. As a freshman member of this new Congress, I can think of no higher responsibility than to debate the merits of the President's plan to escalate American involvement in this war in Iraq. And I am pleased to see that every member of Congress has been given 5 minutes to voice their view and to speak on this measure. Today's debate is not about what's best for Democrats or best for Republicans. It's about what's best for our troops, for our national security, and for all Americans, as it should be. I believe the sentiments will be reflected in the bipartisan support this resolution will ultimately receive. As I've traveled throughout my district, doing town hall meetings and Congress on Your Corner to invite comments from my constituents and listen to their issues, I hear a consistent message. People say to me, we need a new direction in Iraq. We need a plan for success. We need to make sure we bring stability to the region, and when will our troops come home? All of these issues I couldn't agree with more strongly. Unfortunately, the President's plan is not a change in direction. It's rather more of the same. As a member of the House Armed Services Committee, I've had the unique opportunity to question both Secretary Gates and General Pace and to listen to their testimony on this proposed escalation. At no point has anyone from the administration been able to articulate to me clearly that this is a strategy that will effectively undermine terrorism, promote lasting stability, and be successful in redeploying our troops. What is so clear to so many of our military advisors, former and current military generals, and a majority of this body and the American public at large does not seem to be shared by this administration, that the answers in sustaining peace in Iraq lie in the political, diplomatic, and economic solutions, not in the military ones. In our hearings, I have worked hard to bring to light whether the President has a plan for Iraqi oil revenues and reconstruction contracts to create progress in the economic and political arenas. Both Secretary Gates and General Pace testified that the President's current plan has no chance of success unless there's significant progress in both of these arenas. I call upon the administration to produce a real plan to ensure each of the sectarian groups receives a stake in the oil revenues, and a plan for oversight and accountability to reduce fraud and corruption and to disrupt the black market for oil. Right now, only a small portion of the Iraqi oil revenues has been used for reconstruction, yet billions of American dollars have been spent. We need accountability and real answers to ensure the Iraqis leverage the oil revenue effectively to bring all of the parties to the table. And where is the accountability with the war spending? We need a Truman-style committee to investigate these billions of dollars of no-bid contracts being awarded in Iraq, and we should bring the war funding process completely under the regular appropriation structures. We have also not seen a plan to transfer the reconstruction contracts to the Iraqis. The Iraqi 20-year-olds should be the ones that are rebuilding the bridges and the roads and the schools and the hospitals, not fighting each other and not attacking our troops. And where has the progress been made on the political stability? Where is the plan to develop a special envoy and to engage others in the region to bring forth peace and stability? In my view, the testimony provided in the several hearings that the Armed Services Committee have revealed an insufficient commitment to these very targets that both General Pace and Secretary Gates have testified are required for success. Yet the President continues to push forward and send in more troops. Our men and our women in the military have served admirably and done everything we've asked them to do. They have fought bravely under daunting circumstances, often at times without the proper equipment that they need. They have made sacrifice after sacrifice in leaving their families and loved ones behind to do the job that we've asked them to do. And how do we repay this sacrifice and patriotism? By continuing to extend their tours indefinitely, cutting their veterans' benefits when they return home. The dedication and sacrifice of the men and the women in the armed forces deserves responsible leadership. They have given us everything they have, and in turn, we must give them a new direction for success. There are those out there that will use this debate as a partisan wedge. That type of rhetoric undermines the core values of our democracy. In fact, it was Thomas Jefferson who declared that dissent is the highest form of patriotism. Thank you.